you ever want to join Outlaw Motorcycle Club, or any club for that matter, there's some things that go across the board in American motorcycle clubs that started after World War II and still goes on to this day. Clubs like the Outlaws and the Hells Angels, down to any local motorcycle club. What rules do American clubs still follow to this day? Let's check out 8 things.
Let's ride.
Number 1, race. To this day, many outlaw motorcycle clubs stick to the code of stick to your race. It'll be a black set, a white set, or a Hispanic set. And the reason why this exists is the majority of the bigger clubs all got their starts in California, where prison politics comes into play. Let's say you're in a certain club and that club happens to be a Mexican club. You have to fall under the Mexican card. So if you allow different races into your club, when you go inside, you will have to move on your own brothers. They just control from inside what happens out on the streets, because it's too easy for them to make a move on a family member or something like that. So that's why a lot of these clubs stick to those prison politics. Even if they're in a faraway land, if they're in another country somewhere, sometimes they will still not allow certain members because of that fact. That across the board, and the only time this gets worked around is if your club expands to a foreign land. Sometimes there's give or take with that, just because they want the expansion in that territory. But you also have clubs like the Chosen Few that led the way in allowing whites into a black club and like intermingling, something that had never been done at that time, you know, back in the days when they first did it. So it's not across the board, but a lot of American motorcycle clubs follow this mode of having a black set and a white set still to this day, where they party and function. You'll even have like a Daytona bike week, you'll have a black bike week, and then you'll even have like a Myrtle bike week, and then you have like Harley bike week, aka black set, white set. It kind of even spills over into how events are done. Number 2, hazing prospects. Now this doesn't go across the board. Some clubs look at the prospect as a future brother, so they don't treat him like crap. But a lot of American motorcycle clubs will have you do the craziest things, from washing bikes to lighting up cigarettes to doing things that are super degrading. And basically it's a military style way of breaking you, so they could see your loyalty to the club. How loyal are you to the club? So those are things that came from the military back in the days that still lasted to this day. They're going to make you do the weirdest things just to prove, are you really down for this motorcycle club? And if you're in a club and you notice that some prospects are getting hazed and not others, sometimes it's you. What are you going to accept? Are you the type of person that is going to allow disrespect, or are you going to actually hold your own, stand your own ground? It really depends on what situation you're in, because if 40 dudes is going to jump on you, might not be the best situation to stand tall. Number 3, motorcycle requirements. A lot of American motorcycle clubs have motorcycle requirements, and it's not just outlaw clubs only wanting 1300cc American made bikes. It's also sport bike riders, because if you're in a sport bike club, you're gonna want to have a bike that's fast enough to keep up. So they won't want you in the club if you're riding a cruiser, maybe because you can't keep up. And not all clubs are like this, it's give or take. But there's some clubs, when they get on the road, if they're a sport bike club, they want to take off. Now, when it comes to outlaw motorcycle clubs, you have to be American made. Harley Davidson, Indian, Victory. Some clubs will let you ride the sport bike, but then you have to get a Harley or a Victory or something to get fully patched. It really depends on the section. For some American clubs, it does not matter. If you don't have that Harley Davidson, you can't get in. If you don't have that American made, you can't get in. There is requirements. Number 4, riding expectations. If you're new to joining a club, you have to understand that there will be riding expectations. There will be times that it's raining and they still want you to go out and ride. There'll be times that you're dead tired or you're feeling a certain way and you're just not feeling right. You still have to get on your bike. or it will be issues with the clubs. Also, if you're in an outlaw motorcycle club, you have to be able to keep up with the pack. That is mandatory. If they're doing 100 miles per hour, you need to be in formation in that pack doing 100 miles per hour. So it takes an experienced rider to be a Diamond Club member, to be an Outlaw Motorcycle Club member. It takes a true experienced rider. That's why you don't see as many young people in Outlaw Motorcycle Clubs. Like, you do see them, but they have to be super experienced to be able to keep up with the pack. Number 5, leaving a motorcycle club. Leaving a motorcycle club sometimes can be rough. Sometimes they can give you a really hard time. Depending on your situation, leaving a motorcycle club sometimes could be tough. Some people I see leave the biggest, baddest clubs and they just go to another club like it never happened. But some people have a hard time. Some people get tattoos covered up by force. Some people, all the flaming and Sons of Anarchy stuff that's very far-fetched. Not saying that it doesn't happen somewhere in Mississippi somewhere or wherever it may happen. I'm not saying it's never happened in the history, but most people will cover up the tattoos. But I've seen situations where people get jumped. I've seen situations where people get their motorcycle taken. This happens. So if you're going to join the Outlaw Motorcycle Club, you got to understand and have these conversations. So if you're going to join the Outlaw Motorcycle Club or 1% Club, you got to know what kind of people you're around. And that's why I say you got to hang around. You got to really put that time in and know who you're around. Did you see them take someone else's bike? Is there another person that decided to leave and they took their bike? And then you have some clubs that are so broke that they want you to pay them money to leave, just so that, they make it hard. If you don't have money like that, you can't leave. They keep you stuck. And then you have the clubs that will tell other people not to accept you just because you left. And then you have out bad, the people that actually did something foul, slept with somebody's old lady, did something grimy to a brother, ratted on a brother, whatever it may be, whatever the list of crazy things that you may have done. But also you have political out bad. And I think that that's a new category that needs to be introduced to the culture. You have people that are out bad just because they didn't get along with what the movement was at the time. Just because they didn't agree with what the higher ups are doing and they wanted to do something different, they're out bad because of that. Because they were maybe a rival to them in the club and they feared them. You have those kind of people that get put out bad for no reason. Number 6, respecting colors. One thing that motorcycle clubs will never play with is their colors. And the reason why they don't play with their colors, biker vests, for people that don't know what I'm talking about, those patches, they had to earn them. So just handing them in isn't a quick thing. And taking it away from them is something that they should fight tooth and nail for. Some clubs, you can't even wear your vest when you're riding in a car. You have to fold it up a certain way and put it in your trunk. Some clubs, you can wear your cut and it's not a problem. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Is that stupid that you have to fold up your vest, or do you think it makes sense? Number 7, the bad boy image. Let's keep it real here. Some people join motorcycle clubs and outlaw motorcycle clubs just to have the bad boy image, just to fulfill some fantasy that they never fulfilled when they were younger, when they seen their peers joining gangs, getting locked up, getting into problems, and they were a square the whole time, working, doing the right thing. And then all of a sudden they get older and they get into a midlife crisis where they want to become a gangster now. So they join an outlaw motorcycle club or a 1% club, or not even, one of the bigger clubs. They just join a smaller club and they want to move like they're Mr. Tough Guy because they got patches on. Or start their own motorcycle club and put the logo as a devil or something with fire so they look tougher and cooler, like a Hell's Angels light. Like they're not really built to be, prospect and join the Hell's Angels, but they want to make something where it kind of looks like they are. Or the dudes that want to look like the Pagans or the Thunder Guards and walk around with axe handles like they're really going to hit somebody with it, just to portray an image. Number 8, not letting non-members know about club business. If you're a member of a motorcycle club, non-members should never know your business. You should never pillow talk. Your girl should never know your business. Your wife should never know your business. You know why? Because she's at risk for having knowledge of anything that's going on if something ever goes down. And then you know what happens. Or you break up with the girl and she's with the rival club, telling them all your business, whereabouts, where you do this, that. And I've seen people lose their lives over these kind of situations. So when you do these type of things, you're jeopardizing your family. So let me know in the comments if you have any to add on to this list, and get your Gosavelli motorcycle riding mask now. They're on www.demonsroad.com. I got another video where I sit down with Scott Jr. Erickson of the Mongols MC. It'll be linked above. And thank you for tuning in to Demons Road TV, the holy grail of MC culture. Like, subscribe, and comment. No, yeah, we ghosting, baby.
Ooh.